I'm getting the shot to protect my employees and my customers. We all want to get back to normal here in Bernalillo County.
Like eating out in restaurants.
Going back to school.
Going on vacation.
Think back to 1 year ago, New Mexico. We were about a month into this pandemic with a lot of anxiety, worry, but also hope that we would come out of it. So 12 months later, we are leading the nation in vaccines. And our success, I recently found out, is thanks to some unexpected heroes.
How are you today?
Even as adults, we can learn a lot from Mr. Rogers.
When I was a little boy and something bad happened in the news, my mother would tell me to look for the helpers.
You can park anywhere in this area or anywhere in this area, and the entrance is going to be right over here.
Okay, I'll go over there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no problem, sir.
But no cardigans here. To find our unexpected helpers, just look for the colorful vests.
We went from child caregiving to medical field.
Since December, dozens of Bernalillo County Parks and Rec workers have found themselves with new and very unfamiliar jobs, helping thousands of their fellow New Mexicans get their COVID-19 vaccine.
You posted a picture getting a vaccination with some of your castmates.
Yeah.
On Better Call Saul. And why did you get it all together?
Well, Stephen Michael Quezada, who's on the left side of that frame, who plays Gomi in Breaking Bad and in Better Call Saul, is kind of a community leader down there in New Mexico in Albuquerque. And he has passed on the vaccine 3 times so that frontline workers can get it, even though his number came up. And we were talking to Stephen and we said, let's get it together. And Stephen arranged for us to get it. So we all got the vaccine and feel great. And we hope everyone in New Mexico and Albuquerque will also join us. It's a great system down there. Just sign up and get the vaccine and let's protect each other.
Wear a mask, wash your hands, and get the shot. We've heard it all and done it all to protect our county.
The coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic has been a piece of history that we are all a part of and that we will never forget. Over the past 14 months, many difficult decisions were made, with all of them in some way affecting the lives of Bernalillo County residents. However, residents and county employees were always at the forefront of any decisions affecting the changes to our everyday life. Closing county buildings and sending employees home was tough and, quite frankly, scary. This took a lot of planning and coordination. A lot of thought went into how working from home would affect not only county employees, but also residents needing their services. Laying off employees was never on the table, and the County Commission made sure we could afford to keep everyone on the payroll. And at the same time, the county wasn't fully set up for teleworking, but like many large businesses, our information technology department stepped up and got us there quickly.
Well, equipping our entire staff for remote work was a monumental task. It took some creativity, including not only our normal purchasing processes, but sourcing some equipment locally.
Many of the programs, relief efforts, county initiatives, and other items during the pandemic were paid through with the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security, or the CARES Act. The money was granted by the federal government to assist states, counties, and municipalities to continue to operate and provide services. Bernalillo County took that a step further by creating opportunities for local businesses and for residents to share in the CARES funding.
We've had the back of businesses, both large and small. Without the county and the CARES money, a lot of businesses just wouldn't have survived.
Deputy County Manager Shirley Reagan heads up the Bernalillo County Finance Division.
When the pandemic hit, the county shifted their focus. We minimized any new initiatives, and what we did is we focused on the CARES funding and how we could get that out to the community, as well as how we could use that to get our employees working from home and continue to conduct the county business given the restrictions that were with the emergency order.
The federal government gave the county nearly $32 million in financial assistance in the recovery of the pandemic. The bulk of the CARES money was plowed directly back into the community through economic stimulus grants. More than $9 million was earmarked for small business grants, to keep businesses open while their doors were closed. The finance team was instrumental in directing and implementing a well-coordinated plan.
You could say that stimulus money was one of the tools that afforded us the opportunity to keep many owners in business. This helped pay their rent, keep the lights on, expanded outdoor seating capacity, and kept many workers on the payroll. You could also say that this is an investment in our future and proof of Bernalillo County's commitment to a strong business climate in the past, present, and moving forward.
Housing support grants kept renters in their homes, and behavioral health grants supported those in need.
What was really important during the last year and a half was the housing department was able to provide tenants and landlords with utility and rental assistance. This allowed families to stay in their homes during the pandemic and not worry about being evicted.
Behavioral health needs in the community never stop, and the pandemic made access to these services more critical than ever. The Department of Behavioral Health Services awarded grants to providers navigating this new telehealth setting brought on by the pandemic.
CARES funding paid for public safety and public health workers to stay on the job, whether it was at our behavioral health campus or assisting those dealing with homelessness. The work continued, the care continued, and our community marched forward. Public health expenses accounted for more than $5 million of the CARES funding. Personal protective equipment for workers included gloves, sanitizer, and cleaning supplies, and kept county employees going above and beyond the call.
Well, when residents called on public safety, our firefighters, our sheriff's deputies, corrections officers, dispatchers, behavioral health specialists, even animal care officers, they didn't skip a beat. And the state was dependent on our crews as well. County firefighters traveled across the state directing long-term care facilities on how to handle the pandemic. Our knowledge and our expertise during these conditions made the county an invaluable asset to the state.
Aside from the pandemic, something unique was happening. The county's Emergency Operations Center, designed to handle catastrophic events, directed the county's COVID response for more than a year. This was a first for Bernalillo County. Richard Clark is Bernalillo County's Emergency Management Director.
When the Emergency Operations Center is open, it's a 24/7 operation. We're designed to handle natural disasters like forest fires and tornadoes, but we never expected to deal with the magnitude of a global pandemic.
As residents and workers weathered the COVID storm, the time came to steer Bernalillo County back toward normal. That meant as the newly developed vaccines came rolling in, Bernalillo County again answered the call, establishing vaccination pods. The Bernalillo County Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Department employees provided a huge amount of support that helped the vaccination clinics operate efficiently.
We needed every able-bodied person within the county to help with administering vaccinations, data entry, parking control, and security. Nearly 2,500 people came through our doors every day to get vaccinated. In the end, we were able to vaccinate more than 50,000 residents at county sites.
Getting people signed up and getting shots into arms is why Bernalillo County and the state of New Mexico have one of the highest vaccination rates in the country.
The county continues to lead the charge and is being recognized for its planning, implementation, and follow-through on its programs and initiatives. A special award was given to the county manager's office in recognition of these efforts and for sharing CARES experience with the 32 other counties in New Mexico. But the true recognition comes from the community.
Our Parks and Rec workers have been priceless for Laurie Garrettson with the State Health Department. Her tappers, as she affectionately calls them, fill thousands of syringes with COVID vaccines every day at these events. But she admits, without Leroy, Maya, Dez, and the dozens of other Parks and Rec workers, we would not be in the encouraging spot we are today.
We basically bring the vaccine in and I take vaccine out, and they are running the rest of the show.
I pointed out to them, they're part of history, getting us back to normal. Thank you. They chuckled because they don't see it that way. They're just doing what they know best.
I'm just double checking, making sure you're okay.
Being helpers.
As New Mexicans, everybody's trying to work together. And I think before that, we might have took that a little for granted. Now everybody's having to really work together.
And I think even Mr. Rogers would agree.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?
There's no doubt that every employee with the county stepped up and answered the call during the pandemic. We should all be proud of the county's efforts and resolve to pitch in wherever needed during these unprecedented times. I personally want to thank each and every employee for stepping up to the challenge and helping us to succeed, and the Bernalillo County Commission for their foresight and support for workers and residents alike. I also want to thank the community for having faith in the county's abilities to just get the job done. I know now that we can take on any challenge put before us and truly succeed. We are Bernalillo County.